Oh, let's get to it. What's up, Solutionaries? Maj Toure here. Welcome, everybody to the Maj Toure Show. Come on in, tap in. Let's see how many. Let me move this. Let me see how many of y'all in here. 14, 15. We're gonna talk about street shit today and the futility of it. If you're coming in, y'all know the routine. Smash the like button, share the space all over the place. It costs you $0 to repost it. Let me know where y'all from. Let me know what platform you watching this from. Meaning, if you in the city of Philadelphia, say Philadelphia and Facebook or whatever. But put that in the comment section. Again, guys, all throughout tonight, we're gonna be fundraising. If you can, obviously, you guys can see I'm trapped in an RV. We doing this until we get our fundraising goal to buy our solutionary center. For those of you that don't know, my name is Maj Toure, the founder of BGM, as well as the Solutionary Lifestyle. We have a community center that we fundraising to do. So support with the actual work and engage. Listen, yo, don't come in here being like a so-called voyeur. Okay, have popcorn. Don't come in here just looking. Ruckus says South Florida on X. Appreciate you. Ruckus, do me a huge favor. Hit that repost button. It costs you nothing, Ruckus. Bring the ruckus. Okay? But anyway, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary is where you guys can support the work. All of our firearms classes, safety, conflict resolution, stop the bleed, every class that we've ever done over these last 7 or 8 years has been free to all because of your voluntary donations. And the last goal is to buy our solutionary center while keeping these classes going free to all. So we appreciate you all throughout the stream. If you're watching on X, it's my pinned post. That's where you can go to donate or just give a chat, right? Super chat. Y'all know the routine. Super chats. We ask everybody to name a small business, yourself, your website, something, whatever questions. Put that. We try to get 10 folks at the $20 level in the super chat. If you want priority on the questions, do the super chat. So, some other folks, let me know where y'all from. Like we just had one person. Leonard Smith was the first person in here. Shouts to Leonard, right? See, it looks like he was watching on YouTube. But I need some more of y'all to tell me where y'all from and where y'all watching from, what platform, before we absolutely get started. All right. Very important that we have these types of discussions that are impactful in our community. As a solutionary, our job is to take things that happen in social media world, in the political space, in the pop culture space, talk about it from a productive perspective, give different angles. You guys give me some pushback in the comment section, as well as we turn it into a solution. We don't just be on here talking about what the fuck is going on or who said what. The only reason that makes sense, and the only reason that I would even fucking do it, is because it turned into some sort of solution. I am not a fan of just talking about pop culture. Shalom, Corporal Kickass. Corporal Kickass is from Philly. What's up? Media Maniac Network, South Carolina native, and Syracuse, New York. Okay, appreciate it. Y'all see it on the screen. Federal authorities arrest alleged LA street gang leader Eugene Big U Henley. Now, some of y'all have no idea who Big U is. Some of y'all have, and why would you, right? There's no reason for you to have an understanding of who Big U is. But if you are in hip hop circles, you may, in hip hop circles, know more about hip hop, whatever, gang culture. You may know something about Big U. Okay, we're gonna go over in that a little bit today, but that's not the purpose of today's show. I'm gonna start by giving y'all the actual solution from the very beginning. Gang shit and street shit is dead. I would rather you be a corporate entity moving with corporate sovereignty and protections and tax protections than just being a gang member. And we're going to go into all of that tonight and why I view it that way. Okay? Jordan Williams watching from YouTube says, originally from Houston, but live in KC. Ha! In KC, huh? We just beat y'all up last football season. Go Eagles. Go Birds. That doesn't mean that he's actually a Houston fan, but you guys get my point. Let's read this, solutionaries, okay? Again, coming in, hit the like button, tell me where you're from. If you're watching this on whatever platform, share it all over the place. Federal authorities arrest alleged LA street gang leader Eugene Big U Henley Jr. Investigators say he ran a mafia-like enterprise and is charged with crimes including drug trafficking. Federal authorities have taken into custody on Wednesday an alleged longtime leader of a Los Angeles street gang who investigators saying ran a mafia-like criminal enterprise that included murder, human trafficking, and extortion, while he also worked as an entertainment entrepreneur, officials announced. Eugene Henley, known as Big U, was one of 18 members of the Rolling 60s neighborhood Crips, charged in a federal complaint with a litany of federal crimes, including drug trafficking, conspiracy, and firearms offenses, the United States Attorney Office said in the statement. Now, I want to be very clear to y'all. I'm going to be very fucking clear. Some of this stuff, I'm going to give y'all some pushback, and some of y'all going to disagree with me on this. I don't think anybody should be charged with any type of drug charges. Okay? But my libertarian in here, in the space, is gonna showcase itself over a little bit of time here, okay? But let's continue reading a little bit more, and I'll go into that in a quick second. And sidebar, y'all know I don't give a damn about no firearms offenses charges. I don't care about that. If you have a Second Amendment right to have the right to keep and bear arms, that looks stupid to me. But anyway, before turning himself in a video, the self-described community activist recorded videos denying the accusations. Quote, now, this is Big U. To me, this was a little bit of bullshit. If y'all see, I'm not going to put the video up here, but he said this in the video. Y'all can go look, and Google exists, okay? Quote, this is the price of being black and trying to help somebody, trying to help your community and do what you can, Henley said. Quote, end quote, quote, you're just guilty because somebody else doesn't like you. His appearance in federal court was scheduled for Thursday afternoon, the federal prosecutor's office said. The Associated Press could not locate an attorney for Henley. 10 gang members were arrested this week, while Henley, 50 fucking 8, y'all, pushing 60. I hope I live long enough to be pushing 60. And I want to be very clear. This type of shit at 58 years old does not fucking make sense to me. It just doesn't. And some of y'all gonna get mad. Some of my street friends that might see this later might be a little upset, because it's not me disrespecting the game that you are in or a part of. It's saying this shit's supposed to have a transition out. And this is the reason why I'm telling y'all I'm more of a fan of being corporate. It's the same mentality. Same mentality, which is, yo, we gonna get it. We gonna get it by any means, right? I'm not upset with that. I'm not upset with getting it by any means. Excuse me, getting it, being ferocious about getting it, being well thought out and strategic, and understand that there's corporate cuts and executive decisions that have to be made. That's the street, and that's, you know what I mean? That's the street, and that's corporate America. But corporate America, you could ride up until 50, 60, 70, 80 years old and have a pension and have, security. I ain't even talking about a pension. I'm talking about a windfall of money from your corporate endeavors over however many years. But 58 years old. And on one were initially considered, this week, Henley, while 58, and one other were initially considered fugitives, the statement said. The FBI announced on X on Wednesday evening that both have been taken into custody. Other defendants were already in custody. Henley allegedly masterminded a criminal operation that investigators dubbed the Big U Enterprise, and is also suspected of embezzling donations to Developing Options, an anti-gang charity he founded, but which prosecutors say he used as a front for fraudulent purposes to insulate its members from suspicion by law enforcement. He is suspected in the 2021 killing of an aspiring. He's suspected in the 2021 killing of an aspiring rap musician who was signed to his recording company, Unique Music, according to prosecutors. The rapper, identified in documents as RW, was allegedly shot and killed by Henley after he recorded a defamatory song about the gang leader at a Las Vegas studio, prosecutors said. RW's body was found in a ditch off Interstate 15 in the Nevada desert. Lastly, before we move on, prosecutors said Henley ran the enterprise like a mob boss. and used his stature and longstanding association with the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals in Los Angeles. Let's read a little bit. We got Jordan Williams, who said he's from KC in Houston. Black G Hip Hop's Ryan Coogler checking in from Augusta, Georgia. Keimer Shadow, what's up? If you guys just coming in, we got 200 people watching. Bookworm is in the space. 200 people watching. All 200 of y'all should be sharing the space and hitting the like button. In some way, shape, or form, y'all should be figuring out a way to support the show. Hit the like button or something of that nature, because we're going to go deep into this very quickly. And this is not about gang culture, okay? I want to be very clear. This is not about gang culture. This is about the conversation around what we should be doing in our communities. For those of you that aren't aware of what the Rolling 60s Crips was, the Rolling 60s Crips, or the Crips in general, Crips and Bloods. Most people that's on the outside, I'm on the outside. Let me be very clear. I'm on the outside. I don't fuck with gangs. I don't fuck other than the Solutionary gang. I fuck with you if you're a member of the Solutionary 9. I fuck with you if you tap into the show. I want to be very clear that I'm pretending to act like this shit. I got some affiliation, or regardless of my friends that I know in Cali, and that it doesn't matter. Okay. For people that are on the outside looking in, this conversation around what is a Crip, what is a Blood, it has obviously been repurposed and packaged, and television shows have made hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars off of it. Snoop is like a Uncle Snoop, who's a Crip. It originally stood for Community Restoration. Some people say Community Revolution in Progress. Okay, CRIP, Community Restoration in Progress, Revolution in Progress. This happened after the offshoot and the murdering of a lot of Black Panther Party members back in the day. These were situations. Blood stands for, or originally stood for, brotherly love overcoming oppressive domination. Okay, Community Restoration or Revolution in Progress, brotherly love overcoming oppressive domination. That's what Crips and Bloods originally stood for. And again, it was a offshoot of the Black Panther Party after prominent Black Panther members in California were murdered. No different than the Nation of Islam is an offshoot of a more non-traditional form of Islam that was introduced to urban America through the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, so forth and so on. Okay, that's not what the fuck this thing has been turned into over the last few decades. Now, obviously, there's different conversations and levels of what it means, right, to, in essence, be a gang member. Okay, there's different conversations around that. And those different conversations is a part of the problem. When you start to deviate from the actual facts of we are here to organize our communities, to restore our communities, community restoration in progress, and it starts turning into this violent, murderous, kill, shakedown, or so-called check-in shit, that's where I tap out. I fucking tap out. We are emulating the worst portions of the government. I want to say this again because I saw Jim Jones on shouts to Mark Lamont Hill, shouts to Queen's Flip. Those are some of my buddies. They're over on the Joe Budden podcast. I saw Jim Jones on there, and he said Bloods is like, because Jim Jones is affiliated, or I don't know if he's active or not, but it's a fraternity, like a sorority fraternity in college. And that makes sense. But sororities and fraternities are not fucking running around killing each other, asking people to fucking check in. And let me be very clear. I don't even believe in that fucking concept of checking in. I go to LA all the time, right? And checking in is slang for you rich or you got some resources. You need to come holler at us when you get into town and pay us off for protection. That is emulating the worst fucking form of government, the state. That's what the IRS and the fucking federal government, that's what they do. And the reason why these people in this Operation Drawdown are being impacted or investigated right now is because the government hates competition. So when you're talking about shaking people down and give us money for protection, give us a certain percentage, that is what the federal government does. That's why I hate the United States government. Hate. I love Americans of all backgrounds. I love my countrymen and countrywomen. I hate this fucking government. Government, by definition, is a status that the state in and of itself is a parasitic environment. So when we start to have a emulating the worst portions of society, the parasites, okay? When you have the parasite situation going on, I'm going to call it out regardless of who it is. This is a picture of Operation Drawdown. Now, this was, there's in here. Some of y'all might know some of these folks, and you know them from internet fame, okay? But that 1 foot in, 1 foot out shit I learned a long time ago is not the way. It doesn't really pan out the proper way. So a lot of these people that you know, or some of these people in this picture right here, they've been on Adam 22. They've been on Vlad TV. They highlight and give platforms for gang culture folks to have certain conversations. And so obviously so many people say, well, this is what started a lot of these fucking investigations that went on to indictments. Okay? So right here in the middle, you got Eugene Henley, Big U. Next to him, you got Brick Baby. You got Bear Claw. You got Loose Cannon. You have all of these people that some of these people you might have seen on these platforms, which is another conversation that we need to talk about. If you are a gangster, you should not be on these platforms having fucking conversations. There is nothing gangster in the sense of violating other people and their property about me. I don't play no gangster shit. I don't. Now, what I mean by that is this does not mean that you can't have affiliations or some of the more positive aspects of gang culture like that fraternity or that brotherhood. I say this all of the time. Some of my friends that are law enforcement people and some of my friends that are criminals or reformed criminals, they have the same mentality. But when police officers start patting down people and shaking them down for the money to do certain things, that's emulating the worst portions of society. Okay? Bookworm just said it. When did gangsters start talking so much? When gangsters start loving the camera, that's a recipe for disaster. When the gangsters want to be all up in the videos, all at the award shows, that's a problem. That's a problem, and it's stupid. I am friends and associates. I won't name no names. I've done their podcast. I know what they do to make their money. Lawful things. I'm friends. Some of y'all may know who I'm talking about. And I don't want to put that on his name. Okay? But I'm friends with people that have had serious implications against them and being in the street. And this picture's in association, whatever they did back in the 80s, 90s to get money. But now they are adult males that have families, that have responsibilities, that employ people and went corporate. Every single person. If you on the street, you should be thinking about corporate life. But let's read this real quick. Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, Big U, and others have been arrested in a rolling 60s CRIP takedown RICO case labeled Operation Drawdown. The arrest, led by the U.S. Attorney's Office, comes just one day after Loose Cannon and Brick Baby were hinting about prior federal arrests. These are the fucking problems with what is going on with people. If you are in the street, I want to say this to you very, very clearly. If you are in the street, you shouldn't be having no fucking conversations on no fucking anything. Anything. At all. What? No, Bookworm says, was that song lyrics? No, that wasn't song lyrics when I said all up in the videos. That's what Suge Knight, who was another Pyru member, right? Who's now doing a bunch of time in jail, right? The founder of Death Row Records. Y'all know Suge Knight. When Suge Knight took the stage at, I think, the 1996 Source Awards, when he was kind of hitting that Puffy and saying, if y'all want to be on a label that don't want the executive producer and the label head being all up in the videos, all up in the songs, that's what that meant. That was a reference to that. right? And ironically, Suge Knight is in jail. Diddy is in jail. Okay? Big U has now been taken into custody. Let's read this. Okay? Andrew Rosa, a special agent with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, files a criminal complaint alleging that members of the Big U enterprise tried to control Los Angeles through violence, fear, and intimidation. The criminal complaint alleged that the group relied on Big U's stature and longstanding association to the Rolling 60s and other street gangs to intimidate businesses and individuals. It's 107-page criminal charges. Okay? The facts alleged in the complaint paint a very different picture, McNally said. It is one of murder, a murderer, a thief, a liar, and a cheat, and the criminals that enabled him. He added that the arrests were made to make our community safer and rid our streets of these criminal street gangs, including ones operated by violent felons like Mr. Henley, a widely known leader in the Rolling 60s. The Rolling 60s neighborhood, Crips, are a Los Angeles-based street gang that originated in the 1970s. They are the largest and most notorious Crip sets, primarily operating in South Los Angeles, particularly in the Hyde Park area. Rolling 60s gained national attention due to their conflicts with rival gangs, including the 8 Trey gangster Crips. Let me be clear, solutionaries. Let me stop sharing for 1 second. Solutionaries. I give y'all all of this conversation about the backdrop, about this gang life and all of this shit, and now we're gonna get into the dumb nature of why this shit doesn't make sense. Okay, we don't have conversations about Jeff Bezos doing street shit. You buy for one, you sell for two. Then you build an enterprise around it, and you pay the biggest mafia in the world, unless you have an amazing corporate tax attorney or a corporate accountant, tax accountant. You pay the biggest mafia in the world, which is the United States government. Unless you spend all of the money and you put it back out and there's nothing to give the government left, because the government has taxed everybody else. But this thought process that we are supposed to be gangsters and shaking certain people down. Why the fuck isn't Taylor Swift getting shook down? Why the hockey players? Because this, I want to be very clear, because some of this is not in the stories right here. These things allege that Stephen A. Jackson, the one that's on Up in Smoke over there with curly hair dude from that podcast, it alleged that he had been extorted when he played for the Clippers. It alleges that hip hop artists that would come to town, yo, we're gonna give us some money, we're gonna hold you down. Protection racket. That is the government. That's what the government do. So when you emulate that type of silly shit and then this is your end, I can't, especially when you divert away from what the actual original stated purpose of this organization is and was, I don't have nothing to say for you. Now, let me also be very clear. Whack 100 has been implicated. Before Biggie went to jail or turned himself in, he prominently named Whack 100, who has been dealing with the feds and working with the feds. If you do not know, Whack 100 is Game's manager, Ray J's manager, all that other type of stuff. Okay? He said, this person wants my spot and he want my contracts and this, that, and the third, and that's what happened. All of this shit is to me, this, I'm saying this with so much respect in my heart for everybody that's still trapped in that mindset. To me, all of that shit is stupid, bro. It's all dumb. It's dumb. Okay? Let's read a couple of these statements. Oh, that's what Keimer said. All up in the videos. Keimer Shadow says Big U is a hood trophy. And what I think he means by a hood trophy is you're somebody that now when we're talking about the feds, or you're talking about somebody that's just a rival crew that want to kill you. Because I want y'all to be very clear. This is when you playing that game, that's still a reality. I want to be very clear about this. I have had engagements and been fortunate enough to operate a certain way over however long, right? But just because you get your life together, if you was doing something a while back, right? That don't mean that everybody else got to respect you getting your fucking life together. These people will fucking chop your head off and mount it on their damn wall because it's something you did back in the day. Big U did, I think, 12 years in prison. He came out, did the whole, community activism thing. And I'm not saying that, this is all allegations. I want to be very clear. I want to be very clear. These are all allegations. There's no proof. I have not seen the preponderance of evidence, so I don't know. He has not had his day in court, but I want to be clear. You got to distance yourself from certain things because people that is are still around from when you was actually doing shit. And even if you decide to get your life together and you still organizing certain people, right? And whack 100 or whoever doesn't like it, they will play with the feds. You are a hood trophy. Jay-Z has a song called Most Kings with I think the dude from Coldplay. And the chorus is most kings get their heads cut off. Do not be a fucking hood trophy. Do not be. I got people that are upset because, again, if that thing that Big U said about Whack 100 is true, Whack 100 is a Pyru. You know how they talk on Pyru. Pyru is a section of Bloods. It was Bloods, and there's a whole new organ like Pyru is a Blood, but it's its own thing. It's its own standalone gang. Okay? It was a section of that, and then they went into their own, chapter, for lack of a better term. But if somebody's like you on the other side, and I see you having contracts and using your influence, and I want some of that, you could be a hood trophy that way. Be clear on this. Here's how you could be a better hood aspiration, hood inspiration. Working hard, generating resources, employing people, and not advocating certain particular lifestyles. I don't mean turn your back on the people from the community that you was a part of. Nipsey Hussle, unfortunately, was taken from us as an amazing representative of, hey, I'm still affiliated with the community that I grew up in. I am a rolling 60s Crip, which is the same set. Mind you, there was some allegations around Big U having something to do with Nipsey's murder. He managed Nipsey for a while. Okay? They had an on and off again relationship. Rolling 60s is the same set that Big U's a part of. Okay? Big U's one of the oldest and longest standing associations with the original Crips from the 70s. He went to jail, came back. He's the OG. Okay, this thing starts to go in a different direction. We're not saying that you should not have any type of association with your friends. And again, this is fraternal. This is a brotherhood on certain levels. But at a certain point, as an adult, you got to leave certain shit alone. Or you become that hood trophy. If not, you transition into this person is a entity that is lawful, that is separating themselves completely from any of that street shit, violent shit. I am not associated. You want to sell weed? Cool. If it's legal in Cali, cool. You turn it into millions of dollars? Cool. Create a dispensary. If the dispensary prices is too high because government is the biggest mafia, even if you got somebody selling some on the side out the back door, if it's legal in your state, there's a way to buy for one and sell for two, sell for three. But all of this violence, extortion, I don't hear none of you motherfuckers talking about we are extorting Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos got to check in. Taylor Swift's security team got to check in. This looks like the lowest common denominator of self-hate from an organization that was originally started to make sure that the community was defended against the government. That's what CRIP stands for. Okay? Let's be clear. Oh, what's up, Mike White with the super chat, $10 super chat. Yo, guys, we need 9 people at the $20 level. Support the work, y'all. I'm not on here just ranting to y'all. We got to support the work, too. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Huge shouts. Somebody gave us a $2,200 donation yesterday at midnight. Huge shouts to that. And I know who it is. I got some content coming about that. All right? So if you in the chat, if we do the chat every Monday through Friday, right? That Monday through Friday, 8 p.m., 10 people giving $20. That's $200. That's $1,000 a week that goes towards the work. See, and this is why I'm not too, I disagree with it, but I get somewhat upset when some of our hood scholars and hood stars like myself, because I pat myself on the back, I earned every motherfucking stripe. Anybody in Philly know I was outside. whether it was sales or whatever that was, or it doesn't matter. My point is, when I create a community center, when I'm saying we fundraising to do certain shit, I'm not involved in any fucking unlawful or illegal activities at all. Okay? But then when I'm like, yo, let's do this, let's talk about politics, let's create a community center, we gotta get behind each other. Otherwise, motherfuckers think they gotta still be in the street, 58 years old, facing a federal indictment. So that's why I appreciate every single dime. Mike White, 2A advocacy, trying to help the best I can when I can. Thank you for that. Appreciate you, Mike. Let's read what's up, Peely? Feds have been watching them for years. A few of them seem to be on the straight and narrow for some time, but their past was already being investigated for at least 2-3 years. And this is what I'm talking about. This is why you have to stack your bread. You got to be in position. And the young people that's watching this is going to come across this later. Listen, man, it don't cost much money to sell product, buy one for one, sell for two. That fucking extort some people. Some of this shit is psyops that's put into things that would have been productive for our community. You don't need to shake nobody the fuck down. You need to galvanize all of the resources that you have and push back against the shakedowns that are known as the United States government. That's the hood inspiration for me. Off the Hook says, the problem is he had 1 foot in and 1 foot out. If you're going to be in the streets, be in the streets. If you're going to be legit. Don't try to mix the two. Listen, y'all know who told me that for the first time in my life? Will Smith. If y'all don't know, Will Smith is from West Philadelphia. Charlie Mack used to have his foot in the street. Charlie Mack is Will Smith's liaison. He was his security. In the theme song for The Fresh Prince, Charlie Mack is the big dude that picked Will Smith up and spun him around at the basketball court. Okay? Will Smith had got into it with some dudes from West Philly. And earlier on, he caught a case for some of Will Smith's associates beating the shit out of this dude over street shit. The Philly dudes always got some street shit around, or somebody that's in the street. Okay? My point in saying this is, Will Smith transitioned. Charlie Mack, who throws parties, who's managed Meek, who's da-da-da-da-da. There's some questionable things that have been asked about Charlie Mack too, right? But he's transitioned into a liaison for Will Smith, and in turn has helped generate hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars between that enterprise. Okay? In and out. I was in, now I'm out. But that 1 foot in, 1 foot out shit, Will Smith told me one time years ago. I was at a Charlie Mack party. Tell y'all the story. I was at a Charlie Mack party. And it was at I ain't gonna say where it was at. Will Smith snuck in, and at the time, I was selling DVDs and other things. And Will Smith, because I just maneuvered. Who else was at this party? Gabrielle Union was at this party. This was a public party. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? Gabrielle Union was there. Just people, right? Celebrities. And so I'm engaging. Cedric the Entertainer was there. I'm engaging. Kevin Hart was there. Anyway, I'm engaging. Will Smith comes through, private section, And I'm like, yo, he like, what you doing? I'm like, yo, I sell DVDs. At the time I was still making music. And we joked about the movie 7 Pounds or some shit like that was out, and I had made a decent amount of money on it. And we joked about that. And then Will Smith said somebody had told him, and he was telling me, he was like, you make music. He didn't hear my music. It wasn't no like fucking listening session. But he said, as long as you can remember that being a gangster and a rapper are 2 separate jobs, you'll be fine. That's what Will Smith told me. As long as you can, because he told me somebody told him. As long as you can remember that being a gangster and being a rapper is 2 different jobs, you'll be fine. The things that you got to do to be a gangster, you're too known as a rapper to get away with. The type of skill that you have to be a rapper and how much you got to keep creating, you don't have time to do the street. You don't have time to do the street shit. You don't have time. As long as you can know that those are 2 different jobs, you'll be fine. Okay? Bookworm. These dudes never grow up. Like, what the you mean you a 50-year-old gangster? Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Being 50 years old and controlling and mobbing, it that's the corporate mindset. Just put it in a corporation. Give your people, I don't care if it's weed. We are a corporation that sources, finds, and distributes the best cannabis in the world. Now get security, now get drivers, now get workout crews, now get distributors. Now, it's the same thing. And I would rather you be 50 years old pushing it that way than shaking people down. To me, that's this new, I'm gonna repurpose this word. To me, that's so-called gangster. To me, that's gangster. And if you 50, 67, it's like playing golf. You could do that shit till you're 80 years old. And you could benefit from around what, is left around for your family. You understand? 40 people watching. Let's get the likes up. Everybody from YouTube, hit the like button, hit the like button. Okay? Hit the like the video. This is well-needed education. Let's read a few more of these. All right? Let's read what is Operation Drawdown. Actually, let's go back a little bit. Put some questions in the chat, guys. You know what I mean? Listen to this. Off the Hook says, facts, bro. You was always on your grind. I will run into you every day on the subway. Every day. We ain't got to go. Obviously, I sold DVDs and whatever else I was selling. Okay? But I was always presentable. I was always consistent. And I was always there. When it was time to transition into other shit, I transitioned. Now, I'm not saying that as soon as I made the break, everything was perfect and everything was clear. I'm at least saying I was not participating at certain levels. You're supposed to level up. If I'm selling wholesale DVDs and partnering with the Africans and we selling them wholesale to people that want a job, because that's what something that we may or may not have did. It's past the statute of limitations. That's something that we did. I partnered with an African. I said, listen, I'm not going to pay for none of the DVDs. You going to press them. I got a spot. You going to sell them out of there. You going to give me a percentage of all of the DVD sales. We're going to sell them wholesale. During that time in North Philly at the time, okay, we damn near, there was no crowd. Everybody was selling DVDs. So I was doing them retail, hand to hand, and I had a wholesale operation going on. Okay? There was no violence. We damn near single-handedly stopped the level of crime. If everybody eating, everybody entertained, it's a bunch of dudes that would be robbing people, selling DVDs and making money off of entertainment. And if they're not robbing people now, then there's a decrease in the crime rate. That's hood shit. That's hood legendary shit that I did and I participated in. I want to create jobs and economies. Down on them trains, underground, on them trains, there was no fighting. There was no arguing when I was down there. Yes, I was strapped. Yes, I had my suitcase. Off the Hook, I didn't make him say that. I was down there every day. The young boys trying to rob or do dumb shit, I put an end to that. If they needed some money, I would give, here go 100 DVDs, sell these joints, come see me. With the thought that they could burn me. But I would rather them sell that product as opposed to some other shit. It's the same thing. When I say to y'all, we have an affiliate program, right? I don't even want y'all to have to pay for the shirts. You get a 15% commission. Get your own link to sell the merch. If you sell $1,000 worth of shirts and you don't even have to have the merch, you just use your link. Let's say you got a BGM shirt, right? And somebody asks you, oh, you go somewhere, you got an all gun controllers racist shirt or hoodie. And everybody say, where you get that shirt from? And you give them the link. Let's say in that week, you get 1,000 people, $1,000 worth of sales. And you take 150 that week. And let's say you do that every week without even having to have the product or pay for the product. Because the link goes to our situation and we know we account for your sales. We cash you out every week. Let's say you do that every week. You make an extra $150 a week, right? That's $600 a month. That's a cell phone bill, shit, or something, an electric bill or something. That's what I'm on. We ain't trying to extort no fucking body from our community. What would that? That's why I take such a offense to these scenarios, because it's like, you mean to tell me you turned something that was that great? You turned something that was that great, community restoration and progress, and you allowed the government to infiltrate, and now you're emulating the worst portions of the fucking United States thing, which is rob, steal, kill. And we got to be honest about what's going on in our fucking communities about that shit. We got to say, yo, if that's true, we not with that shit. We're not down with the fucking killer because we live in a certain community. The fuck is that? We not into it. Let me pull up a couple of joints real quick. Let's see what we got here. 1 second, y'all. Let me pull something up. I want to show y'all this real quick. All right, now let me pause this. This is Loose. And on Adam 22, Loose and Brick Baby. Brick Baby's with the red hat. Loose Cannon is right here as well. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear this too. I'm going to hit play in a second. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Look, outside of that, the feds picked you up 2 times, right? You said the feds have picked you up on numerous occasions, right?
What part? What time? Yeah. Okay, so look.
So
we're gonna elaborate and we're gonna respond to that. Yeah. No. Because at the end of the day, it's like this, right? Because when the same time they came and picked your ass up, right? They came and got Big Useless, right? And then they rolled on me.
Yeah.
So you already know the answer.
I don't know that they wrote on you. I'm telling you.
Now, I'm going to be very clear. This is the goofy shit that I'm talking about, solutionaries. I don't want to have no fucking conversation about nothing unlawful going on it. This is what happens when gangsters start liking the camera too much. And you got Adam 22 sitting in the back. And listen, I hear some people, they say this about DJ Vlad. They say this about DJ Vlad. They say this about Adam 22. Oh, y'all people putting these artists and these gangsters on these platforms and you be tricking them into telling. Nah, you could just not do the platform. The problem is people want to be braggadocious. That's a form of like a sociopathic tendency. And I don't even like using that word. People want to showcase what they did and got away with. That's the lower self and the ego. Okay? Kymer Shadow says, I think Adam's a fed. Everybody that goes on No Jumper gets caught up sooner or later. I could somewhat agree with that. But bigger than that, again, Big U said Whack 100 is Mr. Talking to the Feds himself. And he's partnered with Adam 22. He always stirring things up and asking suspicious questions. If you ask me a suspicious question, I want to read what Kymer Shadow said. He always stirring things up and asking suspicious questions. Anybody that knows me knows how I answer questions. If it looks suspicious, I could have known you for 10 years and just won't tell you shit. There's things about my day on the first day of spring today that the general public has no idea about. Maybe 1 or 2 people. I love the first day of spring. I love, rebirth. I love da-da-da. But people might not know why my specific reason for that is. People might not know what I do ritually. There's certain things that I grew up with certain people for the rest of my life, and I'm damn sure not hopping on the internet having conversations. And my point is, if I'm that secretive about just what the shit that I'm into and desire, if it's not productive or if it's not beneficial to the people listening, I ain't got to fucking talk about it. Let's play a little bit more of this.
I'm saying
we dealing with this
2 separate times. Okay. I hear you.
Okay, wait. Hold on.
You're talking.
No, look
to them.
Okay, so listen.
You can't just say Okay,
no. So this is a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
Brick Baby hit me. Well, like
I know what's up.
No, hold on. No, you
on the play. On the play.
Yeah, on the play, right?
Yeah.
And then some dogs eat somebody, right? So they.
I can't. I gotta stop it right there, y'all. This is the most retarded, low IQ bullshit ever. Now you get on there, you want to kind of like maybe kind of have a discussion about this shit. You might want to yada, yada, yada. I don't give a fuck. Here's the thing, and we're going to wrap it up, solutionaries. I want to be very clear. The rolling 60s set of the Crips and the Paru whatever section of Bloods, okay? Regardless, These things started as things that were very, very productive for our communities. They've made movies about how these organizations were infiltrated with stupid shit and course corrected, and I say corrected loosely, in the direction of things that have not been productive for our community. This is what happens, Operation Drawdown, when Big U, who does over 10 years or however long in jail, comes back, and instead of only, and again, these are all alleged conversations. If it happened, it happened. These are all cautionary tales for us. If you're a person that is on your grind, if you're a person that is focused on improving your community, you already gonna have enough fucking hardships. If you're struggling to make some money, shit, shoot me a DM. It might only be a few $100s a month. You might have to be in the Solutionary Telegram group, right? You might, I want to sell the product. Here's your link. Here's how you do it. Da da da. You might have to turn my post notifications on, and every time I post about some gear, you telling everybody, yo, Maj, I need help with an email, so you can blast emails out because you want to sell 2, 5, 3, 8, whatever $1,000 worth of merch without having to pay for nothing. I want to help those people, but what I'm not gonna fucking do is act like things that are seemingly glorified and okay in our community. No, do not be a fucking vulture on our community. Don't. I'm not gonna, when I go to LA, every time I'm in LA, I stop at Nipsey Spot, the Marathon Clothing Company. Every single time. Do I know friends that's CRIP? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not involved in nothing that is in violation of people's body and their property and their resources. And that's the mentality that you got to have. Stop going on these platforms, having these long fucking diatribes, see, kind of like whatever, because I bet you all of this shit going to come up in the motherfucking cases. I bet you. We are clean, responsible, liberty-minded, conservative value-having individuals. That's what we are as solutionaries. And if you're a solutionary and you listening to this right now, you need to make sure that you thumping your chest and promoting that message every single day out there. So I'm not following no fucking baby. I'm not talking about no fucking gang-related activities unless it's positive gang-related activities. What businesses do you own? How many people do you employ? I don't give a fuck if you employ 2 people. And you struggling. I would rather you do that and be a positive, powerful, inspiration for our community than getting behind this type of shit. You 58 years old. Now, if it's false and somebody lying to get your spot because of what you did in the past, whole different conversation. Whole different conversation. But if it's you running around here acting like, yeah, this is what it is, and that's a fucking virus on our community. 1000% virus. That's why I'm going so hard to get this building. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Support the work. All of this shit, this pop culture street fucking bullshit. Black Guns Matter should be a gun range and a gun store. Franchises all around the country. That's gangster. The Solutionary Center should be expanded upon. We buy first building, we expand upon. It should be a gym. It should be meditative spaces. It should be classroom spaces. It should be damn near a homeless shelter. Then we expand on that and we run franchises around the country. That's why I'm going so hard. That's why I'm going so hard. This is why I'm asking y'all to support the work. Y'all see my track record. Off the hook jumped in here and said, you damn right. He used to be out there every single day. Nobody can say I was out there being a misrepresentation of what our community is supposed to have and need. Nobody can say that. You can't find it. You can have somebody lying, talking about, yeah, mine's the X, Y, and Z. And the shit that I did do, I've been very open about it. But we have to continue that. So I'm asking everybody to do this. If you're seeing this, I want y'all to do 2 things before we wrap up. 1, whatever platform you're watching on, hit the like button. Share this space all over the place. Obviously, we want more people to get this mentality. If you're watching this, you a solutionary too. Okay? That's why you tap into the Maj 2 ratio. Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. 40 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever. We need to make sure that y'all come here and y'all get that boost of, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be in the gym. You're supposed to be getting your money right. You're supposed to be taking care of your family. You're supposed to have a spiritual direction. You're supposed to get stronger. You're supposed to self-inflict daily adversity to get better. That's what the Solutionary 9 is about. That's why y'all tap into the show. That's what we about. So share this all over the place, as well as donate to the work. Obviously, guys, we need, I think maybe, I don't even know what the number is, but everybody that donates at the $100 level, somebody put the link in the chat so I can put it on the wall. Everybody that donates at the $100 level, you get access to a Solutionary 9 premium membership. That's for the rest of your life. So you donate and support our work, you get something. We come up with your meal plans. We give you shooting drills. We give you access to all of the classes, all of the curriculums. You get that link to sell the merch. You get access to the Solutionary 9 Telegram group. You're not going to feel like doing this shit all of the time. You need other people around to keep pushing you through that discipline. You need a network. You need a fraternity. You need a team. You need a gang. You need a squad to continue to push each other towards positivity. You get all of that by being a donor. Pay it forward for other people. You don't have to give $100. If you do, you get a membership to the Solutionary 9 immediately. That's me sending an email, right? You improve self, and then you make money. Our communities do not need to be fucking shaking each other down. That's lame as fuck. That's almost like saying, hey, I want to be a federal agent, and I want to bother people about their Second Amendment rights, and I want to fucking bother people, and I want to be an IRS agent. That's fucking lame. That is the lowest portion with the highest level of hate that I have for the fucking government. And you emulating that is sucker shit. Sucker shit. But we have options. We got to work together, y'all. Help us buy the building. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. The link is right there. If you're watching this in the chat, hit the button. If you're watching this on X, it's the pinned post. All right? You can see the video, see what we about. Every donor over $100, we're going to get you into the Solutionary 9. It's a difficult everyday task. If you can't donate that, donate what you can. And regardless, if you can't donate anything right now, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, shoot me a message, put it in the comment section. Yo, Maj, I'm trying to sell the gear. I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to send you the link to the Solutionary Telegram group so we can chop it up. Yo, how can I improve on the sales? You don't have to this don't cost nothing. And this is what community is about. We've made a few bucks off of the Solutionary merchandise. My next step is to make sure that other people can make a few bucks off of that merchandise. If you was thinking about doing some wild shit, if you know what I mean, for a couple bucks, don't fucking do it. Grind, work with us. I will kill myself 2, 3 in the morning right before I gotta wake up. If I gotta tell you, yo, I'm about to post, go under this post and I'll make a video saying, yo, buy your merch from him. Y'all can utilize that and you get the link. One hand wash the other and both hands get together and wash the face. This is the type of hardcore work that we have to do for our own communities. And if I've already made some progress, y'all should be benefiting and working hard from that too. And we not repeating the same cycle. Every fucking gangster, now they got a rap label, now they entertainers, now they got a nonprofit. Now they're going to jail for being fucking violent. You know what I mean? No. We're going to get money. We're going to empower our communities. We're going to promote liberty. We're going to promote freedom. We're not promoting that shakedown criminal bullshit in our community. And we're going to be solutionary. Anyway, guys, that's it for tonight. My name is Maj Toure, the founder of Solutionary University. GiveSendGo.com/solutionary. Give what you can. Share this space all over the place. I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Be safe. Be solutionary.